Ready when you are.
Okay. Would you believe me if I told you that sugar is equally or more addictive than cocaine?
Yep.
So in a study published in the Public Library of Science, there was 43 laboratory rats that were addicted to cocaine. For 15 days, they were given the choice of having cocaine or sugar water. 40 out of those 43 chose sugar water, and even showed signs of withdrawal when it was taken away. So sugar is something we have consumed regularly since we were small, and I'm sure plenty of people have told you how awful it is for your health. But have you ever realized how truly it can impact your body, you, and your mind? So I myself wasn't really aware of all these problems or how it could affect you until I was taking fitness and wellness this semester, and we had to watch a documentary on it. So after some documentaries and some research, I found ways to decrease sugar intake and ways to replace harmful sugars in your diet. So today we're going to discuss sugar and artificial, how it can impact your health, a solution to overconsuming them, and ways you can start lowering your sugar intake. So first let's look at the main problems with sugars and artificial sweeteners. So the first problem with sugar is its ability to lead to addiction. According to Professor Bart Hobel and his team in the Department of Psychology at Princeton University, the brains of rats who have binged on sugar have shown structural adaptations to increase dopamine levels in your brain. These structural adaptations show less dopamine receptors and more opiate receptors. These changes are also very similar shown in rats that have been addicted to cocaine and heroin. And so Professor Hobel also mentions that he was able to induce withdrawal signs when he took away the sugar water. The rats experienced anxiety. They didn't want to go explore the mazes, which is very unusual for a rat. They just want to explore. And so it also showed lower levels of dopamine in their brain. You can also read more about Dr. Hobel's work by looking up sugar can be addictive at princeton.edu/news. Another problem associated with sugar includes metabolic changes that can change your genes and how your metabolic pathways can change in your body. So the FDA has approved 5 artificial sweeteners, and these include aspartame, acesulfame potassium, saccharin, sucrase, and neotame. So according to an article published April 23rd, 2018 by CNN, the aspartame, also known as NutraSweet and Equal, which is, I'm sure y'all always heard about Equal, maybe not NutraSweet, but it has shown to increase lipids in your bloodstream and decrease those biomolecules that help clear lipids from your bloodstream. So the reason this is bad, that if lipids build up in your bloodstream, it can cause clots, and that could result in death. The article also states when aspartame and acesulfame potassium were added to your endothelial cells, which are the cells lining your blood vessels, there was signs of dysfunction in the cells. So what that means is, so your endothelial cells are supposed to be smooth, so it allows blood, proteins, enzymes to pass through and go where they need to. But if they start dysfunctioning, it can cause ridges, which can cause buildup and clots, again resulting in death. So according to Dr. Peter Osborne's website at drpeterosborne.com, consumption of saccharin, sucrase, and aspartame altered microbial metabolic pathways, meaning that your glucose intolerance was elevated due to changes in the bacteria in your gut, which helps digest things run smoothly, and when that's messed up, it ruins how you digest everything, and other parts of your body won't get what they need. So now that we've discussed some problems with sugar, let's talk about a solution. Oh, with this, by the way, this is a brain scan of your brain, and it's showing how it lights up compared to cocaine and sugar. So this is cocaine and this is sugar, and you can see how your brain lights up a little more about it. So, oh, wrong way. Okay. So, sugar is something we overconsume daily, and I can introduce a good solution. It might be something you constantly do now or have thought about but just don't do it. So one way for you to lower your sugar intake is something such as when you crave sweets, you can have fruit rather than candy. So I know that sounds weird because fruits do have sugar, which is glucose, but fruits also contain fiber. And so that fiber counteracts with that glucose, which won't cause your insulin to your liver to overproduce insulin. And so, when you lower your sugar intake, you can also lower your risk for cardiovascular disease, headaches, it lowers your blood pressure. It can even cause you to feel more energized. I know some people will find faults in that, such as things aren't going to taste as great, which is fine. You can find other things like flavored waters, regular water, unsweet teas. You can even, which it might take some time, but you can make your own fruit juices. So that would be a fun time. So natural sugars also have calories, which doesn't have calories if you think about it. Anything that you overconsumed is going to give you weight gain, but as long as you keep it in with your daily calorie intake, you should be fine. So the World Health Organization stated that you can have 10% of your daily calories to be sugar, which means men can have 9 tablespoons of sugar and women can have 6 tablespoons. Now that we've discussed a solution, let's talk about ways that you can start substituting that sugar today. So instead of having a soda like most of us regularly do, you can have water, tea, flavored water. Instead of having candies, you can have fruit, whether that be fresh, frozen, dried, or put in can, but if you get canned, don't get them with syrup. Just get them in like water. You can use extracts such as almond, vanilla, lemon, and for spices, instead of using sugar like in baking, you can use unsweetened applesauce, you can use nutmeg and ginger. So now we've talked about ways you can start changing and using your sugar intake. So in conclusion, we've talked about how it's impacted your health, solutions, and ways you can take action today to start substituting all that sugar in your diet. Sugars are all around us, and even some things that say they don't have sugar, they do, so you need to read the labels. Overconsuming can lead to addiction without you even knowing. And so don't replace natural sugars with artificial ones, because those are more harmful than your natural ones, but also don't overconsume both of them. So remember that fruit's your friend and your favorite candy isn't.